Well, as you can see, I'm currently driving in the car here. It is Monday and I am off for half term in February here, so I'm heading away for a few days to my local club lake, somewhere you haven't seen in the videos yet. I just wanted to make it a bit different this time rather than the same lakes. What you find about this venue is there isn't very many big fish. They only sort of go up to about 17-18 pound. It's not the easiest of venues because it's not fully stocked, but there are some really nice fish in it. It's not that deep, so in this colder weather it merits a chance of a run. So it's also stocked with a big squad of tench as well, so there's a chance of a couple of tinkas to put in the bag as well. But I'll keep you updated as we travel. Well folks, here we are, first fish of the session, and it's on the Winter Abyss from Horizon Baits. £9 2 ounces, so a good start for the first day in very mild winter conditions. Well folks, here we are out in the bank for another video of the Carp blog. As you've seen from previous footage, hopefully I've had a £9 2 common. I've had 3 tench up to about £4, so it's been not so bad of a start of a session. So we're here for about 3 days or so. So I'm hoping we'll get a few more runs. Now, the lake that I'm on was taken over by a club, I'm going to say about 6 or 7 years ago. Before that, it was a very urban park lake in the centre of Belfast. It's been well known to be fished by locals and people coming further afield. It was a very well known tench water right throughout Ireland It was stocked from early fish from the south of Ireland, so it's a well-known little lake in the centre of Ireland. Now, it doesn't hold anything big. It's well known to have millions of tench, but it has carp up to about 17 or 18 pound. Recently stocked a couple of those bigger fish, but they haven't come out yet. So I'm down here for a couple of days. It has some nice fish in terms of nice ghost carp, nice clean commons. It has a few little nice kois as well that are worth catching. So I'm just here to try and get out. It's the first session I've been out in 2019. The channel's been a bit shy of footage since before Christmas, so hopefully this will be the start of more videos to come. I wanted to come to this venue as well, as I haven't fished it yet on the channel, and I wanted to give a chance to give somewhere different, because it can be quite boring fishing the same places over and over again, and you get a bit of stick from people saying, oh, you've outdone that venue, you already know how to fish that venue. So I wanted to take a bit of time and try somewhere a bit different tonight. So it's going well so far. As I say, that bite came out of the blue. I was expecting bites through the night, but it came just about half an hour, 45 minutes before darkness fell. So we'll see what the rest of the night brings, but so far I can't complain. It's doing really well. Another reason I wanted to choose this venue is I can bring the two dogs, Jack and Toby. They're allowed to come here. And I mean, for such a small venue of maybe only about, 4 or 5 acres, it is a great lake in the fact that I can bring the dogs and only cost me £50 for a year's membership. And I mean, I don't pay anything anytime I want to come to fish it. It's literally just the £50 for the year. The way it works is it's a community trust thing, so they get funding from the UK government and the Northern Irish government. Not that we have one of those, but they get funding from that. A lot of that came from Europe, which Brexit will obviously end as well. But it's good to have somewhere that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and it's nice to get a run or two. And saying that, for carp, it's not the easiest of venues. However, at this time of year, as it's only about 6-7 foot deep, not being that deep, you've got a chance for it to produce a fish or two. So we'll see what happens over the course of time. Less of the fast food, because I'm trying to diet a bit. So what you'll find is there'll be more cooking in this video. I've got some steaks for dinner and a few sausages for breakfast in the morning. So trying to help the stomach and also help the wallet by not spending a fortune on cooking stuff. But hopefully this video will be quite informative anyway, as I'm here for a few extra days than normal, because usually it's just an overnighter. But with it being 3 days, more chance of footage and an enjoyable vlog. So hopefully I'll be speaking to you before morning if I get another fish. I haven't been videoing the tench because I don't really see much point in that, but maybe for 1 or 2 bits and pieces to let you see some of the tench. If I get anything worthwhile, sizable, I'll stick it in the video. But as I say, they can be quite prolific, so I don't want to be videoing those. And again, because there's so many of them in this lake, that's why they're feeding well through the winter. Morning everyone. Well, nothing really to report, a very quiet night, but this is what I've been hearing about this lake, that the bites and runs are coming mostly during the day from about 9 o'clock in the morning through to about dinner time. So we're into what we would call bite time now. I've read on the rods about an hour ago, and already I've had a flurry of activity over the left hand rod. It's the one that's furthest out. I've seen a bit of fizzing and bubbling at about 6:30 this morning. So we'll give it a bit of due diligence this afternoon, and see what materialises, and hopefully there'll be another fish on the bank. As I say, for it being February, there has been so far this session between me and the other guy that's here 7 fish out. 7 tench out. He's had 2 small carp, and I had that carp at 9.2. So there's still plenty of time for more fish to be brought, but we'll give it a bit of time and see what's happening. What I've been using on this session has been the Horizon baits, pineapple pop-ups, and also 12mm Winter Abyss boilies. You'll probably not be able to see that on the hair rig, but literally what I've been doing is over 2 of the rods I've been clipping the boilie, about 2/3 of the boilie on the hair rig with half pineapple pop-up, and on the left hand rod it's just a single boilie. All rods have produced. The right hand rod had the carp, and the middle and the left hand rod have all had tench. So
all rigs working as they should do. I'm actually fishing inline leads at the minute on 2 of the rods because they were originally set up for PVA bag work, and sheer laziness has stopped me changing that. But the rigs are working, the mechanics are good. The lead, I have the swivel sort of crimped slightly to make it a bit narrower so as that the inline lead just slides up the leader, and that has stopped me losing fish. So far so good. The hook holes have generally been quite good, although the carp, when I got it in, it was, you know, when you just, it's well hooked, but when you're taking the hook and it just comes out a wee bit easier than you're expecting, you sort of think, oh, that was a close one. And I know some of Dean's, they've ejected the hooks in the net, so it's strange for this time of year. The lake has just had a little lime put into it in the last couple of days, and I thought that was going to kill the fishing. However, I know the chaps that were down at the weekend, I don't think any carp was caught, and on Monday we've had 3 out, so not too bad, to be honest. I think my dad, he's coming down for a few hours tonight or tomorrow as well to join us, try and get in a bit of the action. As I say, up to about dinner time seems to be bite time. Now, I had that carp last night about an hour before darkness. It must have been about 6 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock, depending on what time darkness falls. But we'll give it our due diligence, as I say, today and see what materialises. Just if you're interested for what I've been feeding in on this session, it's been a mixture of Copen's winter breakdown pellets, mixed with about 20 or 30 halibut pellets. Even Jack likes the smell of them. A load of versatile boilies from Horizon Baits, some chopped, some whole, and over the top of that, a tin of condensed milk. Now, if you think about it, a kilo of boilies is going to cost you, what, 10 quid or so. Literally, I have about 40-50 baits in there at the most. Pellet, 3 or 4 quid. 89p at Pound Stretcher for a tin of condensed milk, and it smells incredible. And I mean, that's been going out as a bit of a loose sort of feeding particle to keep the fish interested, and it seems to be doing the business so far, so we'll keep that up. You filming it? Well, folks, fish number 3 here on the bank, again on the winter abyss with the pineapple pop-up. Only a couple of pound, nice scaly wee mirror, so we're just going to get it put back. Well, it's sort of neglected filming there for a while, but mostly because the weather has been absolutely horrendous. I've literally just put the camera on because the rain has finally stopped. I've just got the rigs back out into place, probably for the night, depending on what happens. Now, believe it or not, up to this point, I've had 7 tench. I know, it's February, 7 tench and 3 carp. So, not a bad session, really. The weather has lightened up a wee bit. I know that it has to get a tiny wee bit warmer as well, and the pressure's to drop, so we'll hopefully see. One thing that I'm doing this year is back to the old school. I've got a diary here that logs what I'm doing. If I open it through the year, I've just made some logs of things that I've been doing. For instance, the date where I've been, the venue where I've been, the time, what the temperature was, the wind direction, the pressure, millibar, what rods I'm fishing, what bait I had on the rods, what rig I had on the rods, how the session ended up. Unfortunately, that one I just looked at was a blank. I mean, one of the important things this year for me is making sure that my fishing is accurate. This diary is going to help with that, making sure that I am counting within an inch of its life the wraps that I've done, or if you're not counting wraps and you're thinking that's stupid, just the distance that I'm fishing to a spot, the markers that I've done, what fish I've had off that, what bait I've used. I mean, there's no point turning up to somewhere trying a bait and saying, oh, that bait's rubbish, it never worked for me, if you're sticking a rig somewhere the fish isn't going to be. I mean, specifically, I chose this venue for this weekend. Not this weekend, sorry, we're not over the weekend. I chose this venue for these couple of days, literally, not based on the fact that it has massive fish, because let's be honest, it doesn't. They're only sort of 17 or 18 pound, but there are some nice fish in here, some nice things to go after, some lovely ghosties and kois, some lovely immaculate commons and mirrors as well. But again, if you have rigs in the right places and the fish are on it, you can get a couple of runs in the winter. And obviously I have my go-to place at this time of year, but I just wanted to do something a bit different. I've been a member of this lake now for what, 4 or 5 years, and I've never put any effort in. Sort of thing, because it's only 50 quid a year, you know, I'll not bother, there's nothing that big. It's a nice place to come to, and it's good for a few runs. I mean, it's absolutely chocked full of tench. Unbelievable. We've had 20 tench between two of us. 13 for the guy next door and 7 for me. I've had 4 carp, you know, not the biggest carp, only up to 9.2 so far, but it's been really good. And as I said previously, I'm not sure if it recorded, I mean, I'm fishing 3 rods tonight locked up. I'm fishing the snaggy areas, and once I get my drag set to lock, I then get my hand on it again and tighten it within an inch of its life to make sure that fish is going nowhere. And I mean, I've had no issues. I've hooked 4 carp that have been in the snagged areas. I've been fishing it at night a wee bit further off the snag, so that I know when I'm getting to the rod, that bit of stretch in the mono, the bend in the rod tip, you know, that there is a chance for me to land that fish and it's not getting into the snag. I mean, I'm not backleading into those snags, because again, that's leaving more line pinned to the bottom, which when lifted, when the fish takes it, is giving it more sort of a noose to get itself. So I have been very sensible. We need to be fishing sensible. We need to be making sure when we're fishing the snags that we're locking ourselves up, that we're not backleading. Now, I know backleading is good, and certain times it has to be, but I literally have a pinpoint line pointed to that snag. Has it stopped me getting runs? No, it hasn't, you know. And some of these fish that have been here a bit longer are a bit more rig shy, but we need to be making sure that we're sensible when we're fishing snaggy areas. The reason, you know, that these fish are getting the way they are with damage is because people are not being sensible. I mean, we've got these fish stocked from Tony Campbell from Carp for Restocking UK, and they're amazing fish, and we want to keep them that way. I'm hoping that it's not going to be like last night, where between sort of 11:30, it's about 5 to 11 now, 10 to 11 now, that we're getting tench right through the night. My goodness. You got the net there? Yeah, I'll get it here in a second. Tench number 8 of the session, 4 carp as well. I lost a carp about 2 hours ago, which seemed probably the biggest fish of the session, so a bit gutting, but it's nice to get a few runs, and this is the best weather we've had, so I'll get this one slipped back and get the rod back out in the position, and hopefully there'll be a few more carp before tomorrow when we leave. Happy days. Carp number 5 of the trip, and this comes bittersweet after I lost a fish which felt a bit better about 2 hours ago. Just put the rig back out onto the spot. A load of crumbed up versatile boilies from Horizon, and also the hook link was the Winter Abyss tipped off with the pineapple. Again, I've went through a kilo. I threw a kilo of those for the winter, which is crazy. But I'm going to fish some versatile boilies tonight as well, and hopefully we'll see 1 or 2 more fish on the bank before the end of the trip. Happy days. Let's get her back. Boys, you ready? Check, look. Happy days. Kissing ghosts. Aye, that's it.
That's who we were talking about, wasn't it? That's you.